Welcome to Finish First, Cycle Breaker Talks. I am Judge Dawson, and I am back with another message that is aimed at giving you inspiration. A lot of times we know what to do, and we just don't do it. It's almost like we believe in the message, we believe in what we should do, we believe in our ability to be the best that we can be, but we don't follow the course. And if you don't follow the course to success, then you must be on another path. Oftentimes that path can be to mediocrity, where you're not doing anything, just going in the same cycle over and over again. And remember, we are cycle breakers. Or even worse, that path can be to destruction, where you are destroying your life and putting yourself in situations that you are going to regret later on. But as I always do, first I want to remind you what a cycle breaker is. Put on my digital clock. All right. A cycle breaker, first of all, is anyone who is interested in and committed to breaking cycles in their life, their community, the world, or maybe even break it back down. Maybe it's simply breaking a cycle that's been in your family for many, many years. What do those cycles look like? It could be abusive relationships. Maybe you grew up in a home where fighting and arguing was normal. So now you get into the habit of fighting and arguing. And now fighting and arguing becomes a way of normal communication for you. So that's one. Another one could be using drugs. It could be as bad as using heroin or something like that, or as small as marijuana. And basically, if you are caught up in that cycle based on what you grew up with, that may be something that is repeating itself in your life without you even choosing it. Because what happens is when we expose ourselves to cycles, or we expose our children or our family or anyone that you love to cycles, they end up being caught up in the cycle without even choosing to be caught in that cycle. So you have to choose wisely so that you don't end up in a cycle that you don't want to be in. So what does it take to be a cycle breaker? I will continue to give you these tools and techniques every time we meet. Number one, recognize the need to break the cycle. You have to recognize what's going on in your life that needs to change. Maybe it's a bad relationship that you're in. Maybe it's that same situation that keeps coming up because you don't pay your taxes, or you don't go to work on time, or you refuse to get your license valid. Whatever it is, whatever cycle you're in, you need to decide, first of all, that you're tired of it and that you're going to break it. Because until you, first of all, commit, or at least acknowledge what the cycle is, then you won't commit. Number two is committing to break the cycle. It's not enough just to know what's going on. It's not enough just to know what's wrong in your life. You then have to say, I am going to commit to breaking that cycle. I don't care what happens. I am going to make this commitment. I know it's hard to get up in the morning, but I'm going to make the commitment. I know it's hard to leave that relationship, but I'm going to make the commitment. I know it's hard to arrive at work on time because I'm so used to being late, but I'm going to make the commitment. Recognize the need for change, commit to making that change. And then after that, the third element of being a cycle breaker is that you have to figure out, what tools and techniques do I need so that I can make this change? It's not enough just to say, I want to do it, and then you're going to say, I'm going to commit to it. But if you don't have the tools and techniques, you won't stay the course. If you say you're going to stop drinking, but you don't go to rehab, it's going to be difficult. Do you know how many times I have people standing in front of me in my courtroom telling me, yeah, Judge, they caught me with PCP in my system, but I'm good. I can break that cycle. I can stop whenever I want to. And based on my many years of experience as a defense attorney, as a judge, as a person that's just keen to reality, I'm looking at the person saying, no, I'll see you again. Because you're not ready to break the cycle. You're not ready to commit. And most importantly, you don't have the tools to commit. Because just saying you're going to do something is not necessarily the right tool or access to the right tools. You need to figure out, what do I need to do to stop? How do I get out of this bad relationship? How do I stop using drugs? How do I begin to love again when I've been hurt so many times? These are the things you have to figure out, and there are tools that will get you there. And then the fourth element, very important, is that once you recognize the need for change, after you commit to making the change, and then you even invest your time, your money, your blood, sweat, and tears into the tools, you have to stay in the game when the going gets hard. And I guarantee you the going will get hard, because change is always uncomfortable in the beginning, messy in the middle, but beautiful in the end. So those are the tools of being a cycle breaker, and that's why I am here. So today, let's talk about pregnancy. Yes, I want to talk about pregnancy. I want to talk about when I was pregnant. Yes, as a judge, when I was pregnant, and I want to talk about the theory of pregnancy and how it can change your life, because we know it changes lives. What is being pregnant? Now, if we take it from the literal sense, we already know what it means, right? It means that you did the do or whatever you did, and now you are with child, or you've gotten somebody pregnant. And we already know that in the general sense, in the physical sense, men can't get pregnant. And who knows where technology is going to take it in a few years. But right now, we know that that is primarily a woman or female species, whether it's animal or our beautiful human race. Women carry the children and they reproduce. But there's a different type of pregnancy that I'm talking about, especially right now. I'm talking about the ability to birth something beautiful, the ability to birth something special. That's what I'm talking about when we're talking about pregnancy today. I'll take it home to me. Becoming a judge wasn't something that just happens overnight. Basically, it was an idea that was birthed in me and that I brought out. So when I talk about Judge Dawson being pregnant, I mean, there was a time where there was nothing. This Judge Dawson thing didn't exist. There was a time when I wasn't even an attorney. But what happened was, at some point, there was a seed planted inside of me that began to grow. Basically, in all of you, there are seeds that are planted in you at various times in your lives, and it has the ability to grow. But if you don't nourish the seed, if you don't cultivate the seed, if you don't even pay attention to that seed, then it won't grow. But that doesn't take away the fact that you have had seeds. You have had the ability to be pregnant with an idea, with a dream, with a goal. And it doesn't have to be anything like being a judge. Maybe that's not your calling. Maybe you don't want to be a judge. Maybe you don't want to be the president of the United States. Maybe you just want to be the best mother you can be. Maybe you want to be the best father you can be, or you don't want to mess up this time because you've messed up before. But that's an example of something being birthed inside of you that you can bring to fruition if you want to. So when we talk about what is being pregnant, we're talking about the ability to recognize the seeds that are inside of all of us. The seeds that are waiting for you to cultivate them so that they can grow into you being the best person that you can be. And again, it doesn't have to be a big mind-blowing goal, but it's your goal. But it's first important for you to recognize that there is life inside of you. Even right now, regardless of your circumstance, there is life inside of you. There is ability inside of you. There are things that you can accomplish right now if you just believe in yourself. If you just believe in the birth that can come out of what's inside of you. If you just believe in the seeds that are inside of you. So the first step of any type of birth is recognizing that, yes, there are seeds inside of you that are ready to grow. So we're talking about being pregnant and the seeds that are inside of you. But at some point, after you nourish those seeds, then it's going to be time to give birth. But see, that's what happens. See, we always want to go from beginning to end as fast as possible. We want to avoid all the hurt that's in between. We want to avoid all the work that's in between. We want to just go from 0 to 60, but there's a process to it. So when we're talking about giving birth and we're talking about what's growing inside of you, the first thing to recognize is that there is a process that's going to take place. You have to first cultivate those seeds, and you have to figure out what is it that the seed needs in order to grow. So if your goal is to get out of a bad relationship, now that you've recognized that seed inside of you, now you got to figure out, what do I need to take the steps to get there? Because oftentimes you can't run from the beginning to the end, right? You have to figure out how to do it. Maybe you're thinking about leaving a bad relationship that was full of domestic violence, full of emotional pain, physical pain. How do you get out of that relationship? There are steps that you need to take, because oftentimes just running may not be the safest way to do it. Now, there may be other times when that is fine and that will work. But in many cases, you may have to figure out, what are the steps that I need to take to get from A to Z? And that's when we're talking about cultivating the seeds and recognizing what those seeds need to be successful. Maybe you want to start a new business and you just don't know where to go. But that's the point. You've recognized that inside of you, there's a businessman. Inside of you, there's a businesswoman. But you now need to figure out, okay, what am I going to do to get to that next level? Who do I need to tap into? Who needs to be a part of my team, my circle, so that I can make it to the next level? And that's the example of cultivating the seeds. Or maybe you just don't want to get in trouble no more, right? Your goal is simply, I don't want to go to jail anymore. I don't want to lose my license. I don't want to end up in a courtroom in front of Judge Dawson or anybody else. So what do I need to do to birth that dream? Maybe you need to stay away from the negative people that's in your life. Maybe you need to change where you go, change your environment so that it's not so dangerous. And you know, that's an important topic, because not everybody lives in the best environment. Not everybody lives in a big mansion on the hill and can separate themselves from every type of negativity. But what you can do is decide who you give your energy to and spend your time with. See, we got to realize that the energy that you have is such a valuable resource. That energy that you have is the energy that's needed to birth your dream, to birth that goal, to birth your success. So when you're out here giving your energy to people that don't deserve it, or you're living in an environment where you can choose to not give your energy to that negativity, but you do, that's going to take away from the success, or at least the speed of your success, how fast you're able to get from where you are to where you want to be. Because energy is limited. You don't have unlimited energy. And when your energy is gone, guess what? You're gone too. It's over, right? When your energy is depleted, you are no longer here. So be very, very careful about how you spend your energy and with whom you spend your energy, because that energy is necessary to feed the seed that is inside of you so that you can birth what you're pregnant with, that idea, that goal, that dream, that situation that you want. So feeding the energy, the love, the proper environment to your seed is so important to what you want to birth. You may ask, you know what, Judge, what is the purpose and benefit of being pregnant? What's the purpose and benefit of giving birth to something? Because you know what? Life has beat me down. I'm tired. I've been in and out of jail. I have a record. It's hard for me to get a job. Or I keep choosing the wrong relationship over and over again, and it continues to be abusive. No matter what you say, no matter what anybody says, I just can't seem to pick the right person. Or every time I seem to move toward my goal, something happens to bring me back down. So you're at a point where you're like, you know what? I don't even want to be pregnant with an ideal anymore. I don't even want to think about it. I just want to live my life. But see, what you don't understand is that your life is not even yours. I mean, think about it. All these things that we clamor for, all the material gains, all the success, all the titles, What does it really mean? If you're not leaving a legacy for somebody else, maybe it's your children. Even if you don't have children, maybe it's your little cousin or your niece or your nephew or somebody that you care about. See, the beauty of being pregnant, the beauty of birth is that you are giving hope, not only to yourself, but to somebody else. See, you are really creating a positive cycle where people can understand that, you know what, if I have something inside of me, if I have a goal inside of me, if I have a dream inside of me, I can accomplish my goals and dreams because look, they did it. Look at my auntie, she's doing it. Look at my uncle, he went to jail 3-4 times, but look at him now. He has a business of his own and he's no longer in the streets. See, that's what the beauty and purpose of birthing your ideal is, because it's bigger than you. You want to show those who are coming up after you that they can do it too. So don't give up on that idea that you have inside of you, because there is purpose to it. It provides hope. It provides life. Think about it. You are birthing an idea that will provide life, resources, tools and techniques for the next person to use. So remember, when you're pregnant, it's not about you anymore, right? Mothers, you can attest to that. It's no longer about you. When you smoke weed, get high, get drunk, you are affecting that child inside your stomach. Same thing with those of us who are pregnant with our dreams and desires. When you smoke drugs, get high, fight, and all those things, you are affecting the dream that's inside of you. You are affecting whether or not you're going to birth a healthy dream or a dream with some type of deficiency. Hard to get off the ground, can't get started. All these obstacles that it's running into. See, you have the power right now to determine what's inside of you and how it's going to grow. My suggestion is that you give it all that you got. You give it your energy. You give it the positivity. You take it to the right environment. You stop all the negativity that's going on around it. Stop fighting. Stop arguing. Let your dream cultivate into the beautiful manifestation that you want it to be. But it all starts with how you cultivate your dream, your seed, what tools and techniques you use, and then recognizing that there is purpose and power in what you want to accomplish. Now, remember this. You're thinking to yourself, you know what, Judge Dawson is talking about being pregnant. First of all, I'm not even a woman, so I can't get pregnant. Second of all, I don't even believe in it. But I'm going to tell you something that's very, very important. Whether you believe it or not, right now, you are giving birth to something right at this moment. But the key is you have to decide if you are going to be active in what you're giving birth to, or if you're just going to let it happen. So let's take some of these things. Are you giving birth to negativity in your life? So what that means is you have to look around, look at your circle, look at the people that you're hanging with. Are they negative or are they positive? Think about your thoughts, what you think every single day. Are you giving birth to positive thoughts or negative thoughts? Because you know what you think you are going to manifest. So whether you believe it or not, when you sit back and you're always going to be negative about something, or you're talking about people, or you don't have a positive outlook, you are giving birth to negativity and don't even realize it. Let's take another example. Are you giving birth to laziness in your life? Are you one that always say, you know what, I can't get up in the morning. I just can't. I can't be on time to work. I just can't. I don't feel like looking for a job right now. I just don't feel like it. See, you are giving birth to a life of laziness and unproductivity. You will find yourself someday wishing that you gave the energy to the things that you desire, because you'll find yourself without the things that you desire. And then if you track it all the way back to where you were, you'll be like, man, I was lazy back then. I didn't get up and look for a job. So now here I am, 30, 40, 50 years old. I don't have money to take care of my family because I didn't build when I was younger. Or, man, I had a good job back when I was in my 20s, but I didn't value it because I didn't go to work on time. I didn't get up on time. I didn't give it the proper energy. Or, wow, look at all those relationships that I just blew. Why? Because I didn't cultivate it. I didn't recognize it. So what you don't realize is that even if you are not active in your birth right now, even if you're not active in your pregnancy right now, you are giving birth to something. So I suggest to you, make sure that it's something positive. Scan your thoughts. Analyze your life. Look back at the last 60 days and figure out what you've been giving birth to. But I'm going to talk about that in a moment. How to get pregnant with love, life, and power. All right. So, I spend a lot of time talking about what I see in the courtroom, the tragedies that come in my courtroom, the people who are destroying their lives because they don't seem to care. Now I want to give you the tools on how to take it all to the next level. So if you want to give birth to a positive, powerful life, first of all, analyze right where you are right now. So look back at the last 60 days, 90 days. What have you been giving birth to? What have been the habits that you've done over and over again? And most importantly, are those habits adding value to your life? Are those habits leading you in the direction of your goals and your dreams? So you first have to analyze, where are you based on the decisions that you've been making for the last 90 days? Because that's going to tell you what you've been giving birth to. And then the next thing you want to do is be mindful of who you are letting around your seed. Who are the people that you are letting in your life? Who are the people that are coming around? Are they feeding you positivity? I mean, are they bringing you healthy food for your little child that's growing up inside of you? Or are they just bringing you drama? Guess what so-and-so said? Guess what happened at the club last night? Those are not things that are going to positively feed the dream and the goal that you have inside of you. So those are the things that you have to eliminate from your life. Be careful who you are giving birth to and bringing around what you're bringing to life. Next, be mindful of the thoughts that you are cultivating. I talked about it. It's important. The things that you're thinking, the thoughts that you allow to go inside your mind is going down inside the seed that is growing inside of you. Your thoughts are going all through your body, up and down. It's energy. So if you are not mindful of the thoughts that you are giving birth to, those thoughts that you're giving birth to is going to kill the dream that is growing inside of you. And then the worst part about thoughts is it's not just the thoughts you think, right? It's the thoughts that other people put in your head because you allow them in your environment. So it goes back to who are you allowing around you, because now not only are they toxic to your environment, the thoughts that they are putting in your mind, those thoughts are toxic. So be mindful of the thoughts that you are thinking and allowing to go in your life. Be mindful of the energy that you are using. Because remember, you all have that energy going inside you, up and down all day. Sometimes the energy is slow. Other times the energy may be fast. But your energy is so important because it takes energy to birth what's inside of you. It takes nutrients to birth what's inside of you. It takes time and attention. And we're going to talk about attention because that's so important. But energy is important because either you are giving positive energy to your seed and your child, or you're giving negative energy. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's no in between. It's either positive energy or negative energy. So be mindful of the type of energy, because we need positive energy, right? That's the way that you achieve your goals. So keep that positive energy flowing through your body. The next one, be mindful of the attention that you're giving to your seed, or more importantly, are you ignoring your seed? See, when we have that ideal being birthed inside of us, or that child that's being birthed inside of us, or that seed that is growing, now it needs your positive attention. Because if you ignore what's growing inside of you, then it will not live. It will not survive. Your attention is so important. And then most importantly, are you giving enough attention to what's inside of you? Or are you so busy thinking about what's going on next door, down the street, at the club, or at your friend's house? Because see, at your friend's house, at the club, and down street, that's not going to help you grow the goal that you have inside of you. That's not going to help you cultivate the seed and what you want to birth. So your pregnancy, it relies on you giving it positive attention. So eliminate all the mess out your life and start focusing on what matters to you. The last point I want to mention is, what are you teaching the seed that's inside of you? What type of education are you giving it? And I don't mean necessarily formal education, which is great, because if you're pregnant, right, with a real child, if you're a woman, you have to get prenatal care. You need to go to your doctor. You need to keep your appointments. You need to make sure you're aware of what you're putting in your body. So why should it be any different for the dreams that you have? The seed that you have growing in your body that's full of dreams, hopes, and desires. You have to, again, be mindful of what you're putting in your body for your dreams. You have to be mindful of where you go. You have to learn and get education on how to build your dream so that it's powerful and so that you can really accomplish it. Because it's not enough just to let it grow willy-nilly all inside of your body and you don't know what's going on. You need to figure out, okay, what do I do? What are the steps I need to take to make sure that I'm birthing a healthy child or a healthy dream so that I can give it to the world and it can be successful? You've been hearing from me about your goals, your dreams, your desires, but most importantly, what's pregnant inside of you waiting to be birthed into this world. Don't sleep on yourself. You have dreams inside of you that are just as important as anyone else's. And again, it could be simply getting off probation, or it could be changing the world. It doesn't matter. It's your dream, it's your desire, and the tools and techniques that are needed to birth those dreams are the same. So don't sleep on yourself. Continue to grow and continue to be cycle breakers. All right, it's Judge Dawson. I will see you next time. And until we meet again, because I am the Yogi Judge, namaste and be blessed.